Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've decided to join me today. Today we're going to use our basic card template that we made on Tuesday to make a birthday card. And we're going to be using the True Blue Florals paper pack. This was the product of the month for December, and as of today I believe it is still available. You can get this paper pack for $5 with a $75 order. There is a link to my online store in the description box below if you see something here you'd just like to have. This is a really pretty paper pack, and for $5 you can't beat it. So let's go ahead and get started. And before I do, though, I'd like to ask you all to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't, and join us because there's all kinds of fun things coming up and you don't want to miss any of them. So we're going to use our template that I have written inside here, the directions for this card. So we're going to start with a card base of Balmy Blue that is 8.5 by 5.5. It is scored at 4 1/4. We're going to give it a good burnish with our bone folder so it lays flat. I've got a piece of, I thought I had a piece of white for the inside, but you know, as usual, I'm not overly prepared. So let's cut us a piece for the inside. I'm going to use my paper trimmer here. I'm just going to cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. So real quick, we'll cut us a piece for our inside, so we have something to stamp on. Okay, so here's our inside piece. I'm going to turn it this way just so I remember when I go to do the stamping what the orientation of this card is. And then I've got a piece of Night of Navy that is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to be our first layer here on our front of our card. And then the pattern pieces I've got aren't many, but I've got two 1.5 inch squares, a 2 inch square, and this 3/4 inch by 5 1/4 inch strip. So let's go ahead, and then a piece of Balmy Blue that I cut out of this die that was from one of our Christmas sets a year or so ago called Peaceful Season, and I just like the shape of this sentiment piece, so we're going to use this one. So let's go ahead and get our front layer put down first, and then we'll do our stamping right quick. So I'm just going to take some liquid glue here, and I'm going to put this down on the front of my card base here. I'm going to open this up so I have a little better, oh my goodness, what did I get on my card base? Alright, looks like it came off. That's good. So we're just going to put this on here, centered up as best we can. And let me just wiggle that around a little bit. Okay, there we go. So there's the first layer. Now, let's go ahead and do our stamping. So on our little sentiment strip here, we are going to stamp Happy Birthday. And I'm going to use the Happy Birthday. I needed something little that would fit in here. So I found this Happy Birthday on this Garden Meadow stamp set. This isn't a retired stamp set, but I needed something little to go inside my little block here. So we are going to stamp in Night of Navy. So let me get the ink out here. And we'll go ahead and ink this Happy Birthday up. And we will line this up on the glass mat so I can start with it straight, in hopes that I can get this down straight. So I'm going to do just like that. We're going to give that a second or two. And there we've got our Happy Birthday. And then on the inside, I'm going to do something, a stamp that says Time to Celebrate. This came also from a retired stamp set called Round We Go. And it's right here, Time to Celebrate. We're going to use this stamp here. So let me ink this one up. once again, I'm going to line this up so that I can start with it. Uh-oh. Ink disaster. Hang on, let me wipe my hand and turn this over. It's a good thing the cardstock has two sides to it, huh? Okay, let's try not to get ink anymore where it doesn't belong. So I'm going to put this down right there. Uh-oh, well that didn't work. What happened to the top part of it? All right, it's okay. It's fine. We have another piece. Oh my goodness. It's going to be one of those kinds of days, isn't it? All right, so let me just get us a replacement piece here. And let's try this again. So obviously, I didn't put enough pressure on the top of the stamp to get it to actually stamp. So let's try again. So I'm going to get it down here, and I'm going to make sure I press good on the entire stamp. There we go. That worked. Much better. All right, let me put the ink away. And we will go ahead and get this down on the inside of our card. And then we'll get our pattern paper put on the front. So we're going to line this up, centered, like that. Okay, now I'm going to take the strip that we have here, and I'm just going to lay it down here at the bottom. I'm not going to glue it down yet. I kind of just need it for spacing so that I can get my diamonds down here. So I don't want it, the diamond, this bigger diamond, to overlap our strip. So we kind of need to put the strip down so that we can get the diamonds in where they belong. So I'm going to get some glue on the back of these, and then I'm just going to lay each of these smaller ones down on each side. I'm not pushing yet because I don't want them, I want to be able to move them around if I need to. So I want to make sure I've got equal space here on each side, both the left and the right. So I'm going to move those in just a little. Okay, and I'm going to try to keep them even here, going across. And then I'm going to take the bigger one. Now, you could have popped this up on some dimensionals if you had wanted to. In my examples I'm going to show you in a minute, I did pop it up, but for this one we're going to just do it flat. So basically now what I want to do is put this so that each point is in the center, or centered in our diamonds on the right and the left, and still make sure we have room for our strip at the bottom. So that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and push this down, and then that's all where we want it to be. And now we can put our strip down. And so we will get that down here. I'm going to leave just a little bit of cardstock visible at the bottom here. So just like that. And then we're going to take this, and I think I'll pop this up on some dimensionals right here in the middle. So let me find our dimensionals here, and we'll get a couple of these down. And then all we'll need is some bling, and this will be done. So it's a pretty easy card. It doesn't take a lot of paper. It's great for scraps of pattern paper if you don't have a lot left, but yet you want to showcase that paper. This is a great card design for that. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this right down here at the bottom. And I'm just kind of centering this so that the point of this diamond is kind of in the middle of my sentiment, or as close to the middle as I can get here. So we will do like that. Perfect. Now, I've got some Tinsel Gems. And this was one that came in 4 different colors, and there's some blue here that we're going to use. So I'm just going to take a couple of these bigger ones, and we're just going to put right over here in our little side pieces of our banner here. So we'll get this over here, and I think we're just going to do 2 because I think that's all this really needs. Oops, let me get that. There we go. Lined up in the middle. I think we can scoot this one up just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so there is that. So very cute birthday card. Now let's look at the other examples that I made. So I've got a thank you card. This is also out of the True Blue Floral paper pack. So I made this one a thank you card. Oh my goodness. You absolutely made my day. So we've got this one. And then I used some of that old Serene Love paper to make this birthday card. I just love this old olive color. So birthday wishes for a day as great as you are. So there's that one. And one more. This has got some gold foiling on it. This we made into a thank you card. So sometimes the simplest things mean the most. So that's kind of an elegant looking one with the gold foil. So there are our birthday and thank you cards that we've made. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and make sure you ring that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And I will be back in a couple of days with Fun Fold Friday, where we're going to use the other template that we made on Template Tuesday. So I will see you all then. Have a crafty day. Bye.